History is written by those who survive. But what about those who vanish? Those whose voices were silenced, whose stories were buried, whose truths were rewritten until they no longer resembled the world they once lived in. The victors carved their names in stone, while the truth was scattered to the wind. Think about it. Empires that rose and fell long before the ones we study in our textbooks. Traces of people who knew things we can barely comprehend today. They built monuments that defy logic, like the pyramids of Giza, aligned perfectly with the stars. They moved massive stones at Baalbek in Lebanon, each weighing over 1,000 tons, cut and placed with a precision that modern engineers still can't fully explain. They even mapped continents that weren't supposed to exist. Look at the Piri Reis map drawn in 1513. It shows parts of Antarctica centuries before it was officially discovered. And here's the kicker. It shows it without its ice cap. How is that possible? From the burning of the Great Library of Alexandria, where the knowledge of ancient worlds turned to ash, to the Vatican's secret archives, holding documents that trace power, prophecy, and perhaps forbidden truths, humanity has forgotten more than it remembers. And maybe, just maybe, that forgetting wasn't an accident. There were civilizations that mastered science before science even had a name. The Minoans, wiped away by a single volcanic eruption. The Maya, whose magnificent cities were swallowed by the jungle. The Indus Valley people, whose advanced plumbing and urban design simply vanished into the dust. How did they fall? Why does their story end in such profound silence? Maybe the past isn't as simple as we've been taught. Maybe civilization isn't a straight line of progress, but a circle. A constant cycle of rise and fall, repeating through the ages. What if every time we reach a peak of knowledge, something happens? Something that resets the board, wiping the slate clean. And then, history begins again, but without memory, without the full truth. We dismiss myths and legends as fiction stories of Atlantis, Lemuria, Shambhala, but what if they're not just stories? What if they're distorted memories, echoes of a world that came before ours? Look at the Göbekli Tepe Temple in Turkey, built an astonishing 12,000 years ago, long before farming was even supposed to exist. Who built it and how? The official answer is, we don't know. Perhaps our greatest mysteries aren't waiting to be discovered out there. Perhaps they're waiting to be remembered. Because sometimes the most unsettling truths aren't the ones buried deep underground, but the ones we've buried inside ourselves. The truth is still out there, often hidden in plain sight. All it takes is the courage to look. If you find these ideas as fascinating as I do, hit that subscribe button and join the conversation below. Thanks for watching.